gross.
If I am at a restaurant sitting at a table and an NBA MVP voter sits next to me, I ask for the check and leave the restaurant. I cannot be seen in public.
That's not true. Chris Broussard has an NBA
Only
MVP vote, right?
Only one. I've walked up and slugged guys right in the forehead. I think it's the dumbest. It's insane. Nobody understands valuable.
Well, yeah. So I think it's poorly named.
Yeah. It's not like if it was fastest sports car, you wouldn't give it to most productive. You'd give it to fastest sports car.
Correct.
That's the Olympics. It's like high jump. Oh, okay.
Who
jumps the highest?
highest.
Right. Like that's a 100-meter dash. Okay, at 100 meters, whoever finished. NBA MVP, we don't give valuable. We just go stats and stories. So I would give you my top 5 this morning, and you're gonna not believe it. But again, it's called valuable. This is who I would give the MVP to.
Okay.
Number 5.
LeBron James. Hold on. You're going to freak out. LeBron's played 41 games. He's going to come back and play the final 11 or 12. That'll give him 53 of 72 games. That is 3/4 of a season. Do the math. That's almost 75% of games. The Lakers have not beaten a team over 500 that's fully stocked since he left. They beat the Nets without James Harden and the Jazz without Gobert or Donovan Mitchell. They have plummeted defensively. They have plummeted offensively. They're the 27th best offense in the league without LeBron James. They won the title last year. I don't care that he took 25% of the games off. Not playing. They have plummeted as a franchise. They are a 500 team that can't beat good teams. But in the NBA, there's so many bad ones they can stay at 500. LeBron's 5.
Number 4.
Steph Curry. He's going to have better numbers than when he won MVP, but here's the key. It's a bad basketball team that is 1-7 when he doesn't play. When he does play, they have a winning record and will make it into the playoffs. This is not a good team. Klay Thompson's out. Wiseman's now hurt. It's Kelly Oubre's talented, but Draymond's past his prime. It's not a very good team until he plays. And then his numbers this year are better than his MVP season he before.
Number 3.
I'll say it again, Jimmy Butler. He is a 500-1 shot to win it, Jimmy Butler. This is a young team, bordering sometimes on immature. Bam, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. He has to babysit some of these guys. They were early in the year when he got COVID. He was out for 10 games a month. They were atrocious defensively. Now they're top 5 in the league defensively. So, unlike a James Harden, you get everything on both ends of the floor. They're a bad basketball team, and that's with Eric Spoelstra, who's a Hall of Fame coach. They're 6-11 in the East when he doesn't play. 24-17 when he does. Again, valuable. He's got some LeBron qualities. Like, he, on both ends of the floor, dramatically changes the effort and maturity of your team.
Number 2.
Nikola Jokic, Denver, bad body, I understand. But Jamal Murray, second best player, top 20 player in the league, he's out. They're 7-1 this year when Jamal Murray doesn't play. And again, after Jamal Murray, Michael Porter's a young kid. He's on pace to become the first player in the league history to average 25, 10, and 8 assists and shoot 55 from the field. But it's not a statistical award. He is the best passing big man from Bill Walton. He gets so many players on this team open looks and good looks because you often have to double him. He's the classic value additive. He makes players better. Westbrook makes everybody worse. That's why Jokic, to me, is valuable.
Number 1.
Chris Paul. Do you understand this? 11 straight winning seasons. Now, that wouldn't be impressive if you played for, a well-coached team. No, that's with the Hornets, Suns, tanking Thunder, Clippers, Rockets. 11 straight winning years. By the way, the Suns have the second best record in the NBA. Now, do you understand, for 11 years, in a sport where almost everybody makes the playoffs, they were a tire fire. Phoenix was miles out of the playoffs. By the way, last year, Oklahoma City wanted to tank. Chris Paul got him a 4 or 5 seed in the West. He leaves. Now they're on an 11-game losing streak. Next to LeBron James, nobody in the NBA has the ability to change your basketball team's win-loss standings. Nobody, except Chris Paul. Doesn't dunk, he's not flashy, doesn't shoot threes, so nobody loves Chris Paul. So, Joy, what do you make of it?
I think people are going to be very upset, but
The LeBron one freaks people out. People say Joel Embiid. The Sixers win when Joel Embiid takes nights off. The Warriors don't with Steph. The Suns don't with Chris. The Lakers can't beat good teams without LeBron.
The award isn't who is having the best season. It's MVP. It would actually be more interesting if they made the evaluation based off of who is actually the most valuable and not just who's the best having the best season.
Yeah, we talk.
Or the most interesting season.
And by the way, I actually think if you voted on it, just think about this. Anytime you give an award, so many of these sports do it wrong. Like baseball will hand out the awards and the season's over and we're talking football. Like I always thought baseball hands out their awards at the wrong time because all these leagues, when you hand out awards, part of what you like when you hand out awards as a league is for people to talk about it. You know, leagues want to get 2 or 3 days of play. If you actually voted on it to be most valuable and that was your list, it would be great arguments.
Right.
It would be incredible arguments. Those are the most valuable players in the league. And again, you'll knock LeBron. Okay, he played 41, got hurt. If he comes back with 11 or 12 to play, he's going to play 73 to 74% of the Laker games. There is nothing here says you have to play every game. Nothing here that says that. The bottom line, the Lakers' offensive ranking and defensive ranking have plummeted since LeBron left. And we know it's not AD because they have a winning record when AD doesn't play and LeBron does.
Yeah, people are going to be mad Giannis isn't on this list either.
Okay, that's a great question. So I don't have Embiid on it. My takeaway is when Embiid's taking nights off, Simmons can get to the basket easier, Sixers can win in the East. So Giannis, a great example. So this year, who got hurt on that team? Drew Holiday. They couldn't win. Giannis is not he's the best player on his team.
Right.
Drew Holiday's the most valuable player on the team. He's not the best.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They've made it into who is having the best season, and then the word best kind of moves depending on what's happening. So it's like the best / most interesting, or the best / best statistical season, or if their statistical season was better than the year before, where they won it the year before in Giannis. Right. Chris Paul is actually, if we're being fair and evaluating on the most value, Chris Paul is the MVP this year.
It's really not even just Phoenix. Look at Oklahoma City without him. They're arguably this morning the worst NBA team. They don't have the worst record. They're the worst team. Last year, they were a tough out with Chris Paul in the playoffs.